Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, kindly hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to cut a proper bust, a proper bustier for a dress. So what we need to do is, in this video, I'll be using bust 44. I'll be using bust 44. I'll be using shoulder to nipple 12. I'll be using nipple to nipple 9, and I'll be using half length of 19, and under bust of. So these measurements I'm saying are the measurements you need to get this illustration. Under bust of 16 and a half, uh, and then the waist, under bust waist, and then the normal waist. Your under bust waist is the waist round your under bust, immediately under your bust, and then the normal waist is your navel area. So in this one, we'll be using under bust waist of 38, and then the waist is 41. So for bust 44, we need to divide 44 into 2, into 4. So 44 divided by 4 is 44 divided by 4 is 11. So after dividing the 44 by 4, you get 11. So 11, then you add 5 inches to get your bustier. So that will be 16. So you need 16. You defold your fabric into 2 this way. I folded my fabric into 2 this way. So you need to measure, make sure you have 16 from the fold. 16. So I need 16. I need 16. So I'm going to be cutting 16 out using my half length measurement. I already said my half length is 19. So you had sewing allowance, half inch for the shoulder area, half inch for the waist area. So you had, so I'm cutting 20 out. 16. If you cannot use your straight hand, you can just put ruler to ensure that you get your accurate measurement. So we're going to be removing your 16 by 20 inches. 16 by 20 inches. So our back is 15. So that's 7.5. You can add like 4 inches to, because we'll still need to recut it after sewing. Then your shoulder, slant your shoulder down. Always slant your shoulder. Always slant your shoulder down. So you've gotten that. Then shoulder to nipple, you need your shoulder to nipple 12. So you get your 12. Your under bust, you should use your ruler if your hand is not straight. Under bust 16.5. If your hand is not straight, you should use your ruler. It's very important to use your ruler. Then we have nipple to nipple of 9. So we'll be adding quarter inch to the 9. So 9, you divide it by 2, so that's 4.5, and then you add quarter inch. So you mark it all the way down, all the way down. You mark it all the way down. If your hand is not straight, like I said again, use your ruler. Then you mark 2.5 from here at the waist. You mark at the half length, you mark 2.5 at the under bust. So the shoulder, you can do this. I'm using 8 in this video. We'll still recut it after sewing. So I will be using princess dart in this video. I'll be using princess dart in this video. So for this, This is for somebody. There's no way, as you can see from the video, the curve is curving. Is very big, so there is no way it will not fit because she's very busty. This is for somebody that is very busty. Then we cut. So you remove the 2.5 inches. I'm going to show you how I remove the 2.5 inches now. We'll be using wording to ensure that it stands. So we'll be adding breast wording. I will show you after adding the breast wording. So here I'll be adding the lace, but before I do that, I'm going to be adding the picture of the design. The design I'm cutting here. I will add it so you can see the video, you can see the picture and understand what I'm cutting here. So here I'm reducing the. So this is the sketch. So I'll be removing 7 from here. So let me do the neckline. So this is the middle of the neck, and then I'll be removing 4.5 for the neck. So this means this comes this way. This comes this way. Then you remove it. You remove it. Then you make your lace have the edge over it. Over it. This way. So this is how I'll be cutting this one. You can pin down your lace if you feel is moving, which is definitely going to move if you are not so conversant with cutting. Then the one for this side, where's the second one? Where's the second one? So the one for this side goes this way. We'll cut the lace. Then we'll cut the lace for the second one. So this is for this side. So for now, I'll be joining this side to this side to the middle, this side to the middle. Then for this side, where's the second one? Then for this one, I'll first join it and see where it ends so I can trim this side, then replace it with lace and then sew it together. Let's get right into the sewing. Okay, so we have joined the bust. Now this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So we'll be reducing this. We've not ironed, so we'll be reducing this part. Give me blade. Let me loosen it a little bit. I found one. So we'll be losing here. We'll be cutting this part first. We'll be cutting this part first. So this is what it looks like. Then we'll now pull lace edge on this one. So we'll now loosen just for precision. So when you are sewing it, use loose stitch so that it doesn't make your work rough. Just use loose stitch to do it. So I will now be using the edge here again. I'll now be putting the edge here again, this way. This way. This way. So we'll be cutting here. This way. So I'll be showing you after we have joined it. So this is it after joining. This is how the bust is looking. Turn it, let's see the inside. Yeah, this is it. This is it. To just sit perfectly when she was turning around again, turning around, turning to the right. To just sit perfectly when she wears it. Yeah. Thank you for watching.